SynoGut is a popular digestion supplement that I've been getting a lot of questions about lately. So in this video, let's cut out the testimonials and stick to the facts. What are the ingredients in SynoGut? What is the research on the ingredients in SynoGut? Who makes it, as well as the pros and cons? That's the best way to know if SynoGut is right for you. So the first thing you might be wondering about is, what the heck is SynoGut? If you haven't heard about it before, well, it's essentially a herbal laxative supplement composed of a combination of probiotics, prebiotics, and fiber that's supposed to help your digestion and constipation issues by working in synergy with your microbiome and the rest of your body. Again, I point that out because Syno to me means synergy. That's where I think it's getting its name from. But name aside, what are the ingredients in SynoGut? And here they are. Here is a supplement facts label right off the bottle of SynoGut itself. And I understand this is probably not the greatest picture. I magnified it as well as I possibly could. So let me give you a better idea of what the ingredients in SynoGut are. And here they are. So as you can see from this table, SynoGut is made of a proprietary blend of 10 different compounds, and all of them together add up to 1.5 grams or 1,500 milligrams if you're taking the recommended 2 capsules of SynoGut a day. Also, I would keep in mind that even though I'm only listing 10 different ingredients here, each of these is made up of thousands of vitamins, minerals, and other plant nutrients. This is just what they have to list on the supplement facts label. Okay, so now that we know about the ingredients, let's look at the evidence for some of the ingredients in SynoGut. And let's start with psyllium. So psyllium is a rich source of fiber. And here's an investigation showing that after 7 days of using psyllium fiber, people who were constipated showed improvements in their prebiotic bacteria content, including the bacteria that make short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids are compounds that are made by probiotic healthy bacteria. We then use these short-chain fatty acids to stay healthy. That's one of the reasons they call them probiotic or pro-life bacteria. We use these things to keep ourselves healthy. The other thing I'd point out is that in this investigation, the psyllium increased the water content of the fecal matter, better known as poop. And what that means is it made the fecal matter heavier. Now, you may be wondering what that has to do with anything. Well, turns out that there is growing evidence that fecal matter weight, the weight of poop, may play a role in colon cancer risk. Essentially, fecal matter that does not weigh as much appears to increase the risk of colon cancer. So more weighty, more bulky fecal matter seems to be associated with lower risk of colon cancer. Equally interesting as well is research showing that constipation itself appears to be associated with colon cancer too. Now, next up is bentonite clay, and bentonite clay is not an ingredient I often see in dietary supplements, but in this case it kind of makes some sense. Bentonite clay appears to be a natural detoxifier substance because it has the ability to attract different toxins such as pesticides, herbicides, and mold byproducts like aflatoxins, essentially taking them out of the circulation so we can get rid of them. So for a natural digestion supplement, this actually kind of makes some sense. Next up is black walnuts. So black walnuts and walnuts in general are a great source of antioxidants. They have anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. And walnuts are also a great source of magnesium as well. Magnesium being a mineral that takes part in well over 300 different chemical reactions in the body. Here we have a study where eating just 1.5 ounces of walnuts a day for 2 months improve the probiotic bacteria content in people. Speaking of bacteria, SynoGut also contains Lactobacillus acidophilus, which is probably the most well-known probiotic bacteria out there. There is evidence that Lactobacillus acidophilus can help with digestion as well as insulin sensitivity, making the insulin work better. And there's also evidence that Lactobacillus acidophilus can improve gut health as well. As for flax seeds, well, they've been shown to help constipation, and There's also evidence that flax seeds can actually lower blood pressure too. So that's just some of the research on the ingredients in SynoGut. What about side effects? Well, basically we're looking at a probiotic, prebiotic fiber supplement. So I think in most people, there's probably not going to be a lot of side effects, especially if you're generally healthy to begin with. However, if you have allergies, realize that the company that makes SynoGut actually does say that SynoGut is made in a facility that might also process milk and soy and wheat and eggs, tree nuts, fish, and shellfish. So if you are allergic to any of this, definitely do your due diligence and investigate that further. I would personally suggest starting with less than is recommended for the first week. The recommended dosage of SynoGut is 2 capsules a day. Why not instead maybe take 1 capsule every other day for the first week? Give your body, give your microbiome time to adjust to the fiber, the probiotics, etc. that you're taking. I think that's wise for any new dietary supplement you might be taking, because if there were side effects, by taking less, you're minimizing any side effects that you personally might have. Generally, unless your doctor tells you otherwise, probably a good idea to stop taking SynoGut at least 2 weeks before having surgery, and that includes dental surgery as well. Also, if you take any medications, absolutely ask your doctor and pharmacist. Remember, fiber, which is normally very healthy, and I agree it is, but fiber can interfere with the absorption of some medications. So if you do take any medications, when in doubt, do your due diligence and speak to your doctor and pharmacist. And then lastly, I would say if you have a weak immune system, ask your doctor before taking any probiotic supplement. Okay, so what about the pros and cons of SynoGut? Here's how I call them. Pros. So there is research on the ingredients in SynoGut. I showed you just some of it here, but there is research on those ingredients. And generally, the ingredients actually make sense for a digestion constipation supplement like SynoGut. So the ingredients do make sense to me. It is 100% organic. No genetically modified ingredients are being used, according to the company. The company does say they recruit a third party to test the supplements for purity. There's no stimulants in SynoGut, and that includes senna as well. There is no senna in SynoGut. Why do I bring that up? Because senna is a laxative. It's a stimulant laxative. It actually makes you go to the bathroom, and that can be a little bit unwanted depending on when you took it. But regardless, there is no senna in SynoGut, and I say that as a pro. There's a 2-month warranty if you're not satisfied, and along the same lines, the return policy is pretty darn easy. Just send the bottles back and they'll give you a refund. And lastly, I do think this is a very big pro. There's no auto shipments here. That means that they're not automatically going to send it to you on a regular basis. That also means no unexpected, unwanted charges on your credit cards. So that is a very big plus in my book. As for the cons, so I would say there's no research on SynoGut itself. If it's out there, I couldn't find it. I do want to reiterate, yes, there is research and proof on the ingredients in SynoGut. That may or may not be the same thing as research on SynoGut itself. And I bring that up because I know that may be a deal breaker for some people who want a research-based supplement. I do think SynoGut's a little bit pricey. We all have different price points, so I will link to it in the description so you could check it out. Again, prices also vary from time to time when you see this. And then lastly, what's the company? So as I investigated SynoGut, I saw a whole bunch of different websites talking about this and promoting it. Some of the websites I saw looked like the company website. Their web addresses were very similar, but they weren't the same thing. As far as I can tell, there's only one company that makes SynoGut. I will link to it in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Again, keep that in the back of your mind if you're doing your own research. Definitely compare whatever you're thinking about to the link that I've placed below, because I absolutely investigated the company and gave you the official company website link. So does SynoGut work? I think it's possible that it might. The ingredients not only have evidence, but again, they make sense to me based on what SynoGut is supposed to do. But you tell me, what do you think? Did SynoGut work for you? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Joe from supplementclarity.com. Take care.